I jumped straight into episode 16 and 17 after my last video, and God, if you thought that this anime was just another war anime, well, you were wrong. Now it turned into like a 40 chess match, and I'll explain what happened and why I consider it such a political game of chess. So the alliance failed their whole offensive, and 20 million of the 30 million troops, they're dead. Catastrophe, right? So every politician in favor had to resign, except for one, of course, and I think his name is Trunicht. Um, he's the guy who it was pretty obvious that he was in favor, but he didn't vote in favor because the invasion were having a majority anyways, so he just didn't vote. I, I think he's a snake, and I'm just waiting for him to seize more power. So I'm gonna certainly keep an eye on him. But on top of that, the Kaiser, he dies of a heart attack. So now the empire is in turmoil. This is the moment Reinhard has been waiting for. The alliance seems to be crippled, and now the throne is empty. He's ready to make a move. But he needs to make sure the alliance stays busy, so he can handle what I will presume will be some sort of civil war or a seizing of power from his side. So then Reinhard proposes a 2 million man prisoner exchange. On paper, it's humanitarian, but in reality, it's a chess move that has multiple functions. It's a PR win, both within the Empire and the Alliance. He's seen as a saint. And he also plants a disgraced admiral from the Alliance side, Admiral Lynch, kind of works as a Trojan Horse, where his mission is to start a military coup within the Alliance. And lastly, he gets back 2 million troops. And he's stating that because there's this honor culture within the empire, right? But he's telling them that it's not your fault that you had bad leaders. They were incompetent, so you won't lose your you have your honor intact. He kind of gives back honor to them, and he just gained 2 million loyal soldiers. So genius. And what's really great is because at the same time, Wen-li, of course, sees right through this, every single step, but he's stuck. He can't say no to bringing back 2 million people. He can't. Not just because of his own morals, but how would he look to the Alliance? So it will be interesting to see what happens next. So this means we are gearing up to some civil war kinds of situations in both the Empire and the Alliance. But there are just two sides. We have Fesan, I think Fesan, like an independent merchant country of some sort, that, and they're rich and they're lending money to everyone and making them. I think like the plan is making both sides economically dependent on them, and they're in cahoots with the Church of Terra. There's some kind of weird Earth cult, and I'm not quite sure who they are. I was getting some impressions that some of the like the patriotic knights, the ones who was some sort of paramilitary, was part of it, but I'm not quite sure. It will be interesting to find out more. To feel more friendly towards an enemy commander than towards our own politicians. Um, it, it's pretty funny because Yang has more respect for the enemy, like both Reinhard and Kirchais, because they are honest about their goals, and he hates his own leaders because they're snakes. They're greedy. They're corrupt and hides behind like this false patriotism to keep it in power. Great quote. And now some poetry from Mr. Wen-li. Um, I've learned that there are two tides of thought in human society. One says there are some things more valuable than human life, and the other says that nothing is more important. When people go to war, they use the former as an excuse. When they stop, they give the latter as the reason. And that's gone on for hundreds and thousands of years. Is there anything I can do that will make all the blood I've spilled worthwhile? Genius. To me, it's pretty obvious that Venli, he despises what he's a part of. He hates war. So he questions like his part in all of this. Um, it's contrary to Reinhard, that sees things, that there are things that's more important than human lives. For example, changing the world to make it better. And that's what's even more fascinating with this dialogue from Van Lee, because it describes perfectly both our main characters, like their philosophy or ideology about society and human life. And also during the whole prisoners exchange, um, I continue to follow the dynamic of Oberstein and Kirchais, because it's pretty obvious that Kirchais is very in favor of the humanitarian aspect of the exchange, but he hates the Trojan Horse aspect of it. I think he sees it as kind of despicable and dishonest and below Reinhardt. While Oberstein is crazy about the Trojan Horse plan. So it will be interesting to follow their influence on Reinhardt, because there are things that I haven't talked about happening, where Reinhardt seems very stern and kind of showing his more harsh nature, and Kirchais continue being the angel on his shoulder and making him, yeah, overall just a better person. So yeah, Gonna binge some more, I think.